Once upon a time, there were three little pigs and a big bad David Cameron. And the three little pigs wanted to be safe, so each of them all built homes. The first one built his home out of straw. And the bad David Cameron came by, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. Sadly, the pig was killed in the destruction of his home. The straw crushed him, and he was killed. So David Cameron had to move on. And he went to the second pig's house, but the second pig had built his house out of sticks. So David Cameron huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. And sadly, this pig was also killed. He was impaled by the twigs that he had built his house with. And David Cameron was very angry at this point. He wanted a pig. So he went to the third house, and he hid in the bushes. And eventually the third pig had to leave his house. He had built a nice brick house, but he needed to go out for errands. And so he did. And sadly, David Cameron jumped out of the bushes, and he raped the pig. Because David Cameron is a pig fucker. Yes, this is not just a fairy tale, though. David Cameron really is a pig rapist. Yeah, so this is a story that came out that, a member of the British Parliament, alleged that David Cameron had stuck his dongle in a pig's mouth. And here's David Cameron with some of his favorite animals. He really loves pigs. And we're gonna look at a few articles on this topic. This article jumps into talking about how the former prime minister's drug habits, basically. And here he is with some of his buddies. They're real close, as you can see. And then it gets down here. It jumps into the topic at hand, where David Cameron had joined this Oxford society called the Piers Gaveston Club. And, it came out that he had done this thing involving a dead pig. There are actually numerous accounts that involve the heads of pigs at these parties with this club. The late Count Gottfried von Bismarck, an Oxford contemporary of Cameron's, repeatedly threw dinner parties featuring the heads of pigs. He became notorious after Olivia Shannon, daughter of a Tory minister, died of a heroin overdose in his Christchurch bedroom. So these people are just incredibly depraved. It's all about sex and drugs and Satanism. What it basically involved was getting drunk and standing on restaurant tables shouting about effing plebs, he said. It was all about despising poor people. That was another part of the club. These people are just like rich scum who really enjoy their debauchery and mocking the public that they are screwing over constantly as they do it. It's about mindless destruction and conspicuous excess and the rather ugly side of upper class life. It's loathsome. Indeed. There's another article on the topic, and this explains the name of Piers Gaveston Society, the men-only club named after the alleged male lover of King Edward II, who was the King of England from 1307 to 27. This organization was founded in 1977, and its motto, when translated, means, "Truly, none remember hearing of a man enjoying each another so much." That's what it's all about. It's about men enjoying one another. And yes, that is exactly what you think it means. Here's another article talking about it. This guy went to the same school, and he says, when I was an undergraduate, Nat Rothschild. Rothschild hosted it at one of his many properties, set off farm outbuildings that were illuminated for the night by candles stuck in pigs' heads. Huh. That's really interesting. It's so surprising that the Rothschilds would have anything to do with something like that. So, this here's some pictures from one of the gatherings. If you doubt that this is a real thing, it says some people watch live sex shows while they're bought bags of cocaine and ecstasy from dealers in dedicated tents. They just have this giant field set up with all these tents for orgies and drugs and dancing and drinking. This is what Oxford is doing. So, here's some nasty person who probably calls herself a woman. It's just pretty depraved. Here's the field itself. You can see all the sex tents here, the dance tent, the bar, another dance tent, and right here the Wicker Man fire. Yes, the Wicker Man. Yep, human sacrifice, mock rituals. Yep, they do it all. And as you can see here, unfortunately, the men dressed in drag. So this ties on to another. This is a classic thing that the rich satanic elite do, is they openly celebrate their debauchery and mocking the rest of us as they do it. Just in 2000, earlier this year, January 8th, 2019, Vigilant Citizen came out with this article where somebody threw an Illuminati ball. They straight up called it an Illuminati ball, and they had all this same type of symbolism. They had a pig king. They love their pigs. Pig scene stands in a circle of cloaked women. A performance inspired by the orgy scenes from Eyes Wide Shut. Yes, Eyes Wide Shut is talking about all of this as well. It's all real. These satanic scum are really out there and just doing horrible things to our world. And this is actually, this goes back a long time, because the Baron and Baroness de Rothschild held a ball in 1972, and you can see right here, look at her with her animal costume, and they often use these multi-faced masks as well. And there's all sorts of symbolism behind all of this, of course. But yeah, it's just the most evil, satanic thing you can imagine. They have these cakes where they do mock human sacrifice and mock cannibalism. It's vile. And there was actually an episode of Black Mirror that kind of predicted predictive programming of Piggate, where a politician is, I think a video in the episode comes out of this politician raping a pig. And if you look at, Aleister Crowley and other, important magicians throughout time, sex magic is a thing. Look at John Dee. After they swapped their wives, that's when more things seemed to happen. It was all like, so much of magic and occult ritual seems to be about just getting people to do the most depraved thing possible. That's exactly what it is. If you look at the rituals of the Ordo Templo Orientis, which is Crowley's one of his secret societies that he was tied up with, at the higher ranks, it starts getting into all of this sex magic, and there's self-sex magic. There's there's all sorts of sex magic, and at the 11th rank, it gets into anal sex magic. And Crowley also has there's a story involving Crowley and a goat. Yeah, these people are vile. And you know who else was a part of this same society, this Piers Gaveston society, is the new prime minister as well, Boris Johnson. And yeah, I bet that Boris Johnson loves the Johnson as well. So, yep. That's the world we live in. So we're gonna have an episode of the Anti-Naughty podcast tonight, but we had to reschedule. So I've got an episode planned for the 30th. That's confirmed. We'll definitely be doing the 30th. I've got to reschedule this other one. I don't know exactly when that'll be, but it's coming up. I've got got some interviews lined up. It's coming, and yeah, I set up a Subscribe Star account. I need to update my Subscribe Star and Patreon accounts to set up the tier systems better. So I'm doing more for those accounts. But if you'd like to support me, it would be much appreciated. And you can go to either of those or PayPal. I would really appreciate your support. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.